and welcome to Let's Talk with Bree. I'm your host, Breanne Hammond, and today we're discussing childcare during the current global disruption we're experiencing. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention released a statement regarding childcare programs. Many of them have closed during the pandemic, but some remain open. Mrs. Cheryl Ann Hardware is with us today to discuss new protocols for daycares that remain open during COVID-19. Thank you for joining us today, Mrs. Cheryl Ann. How are you?
I am fine. Thank you for having me, Bree. It's a pleasure being here. Thank you.
Tell us a little about yourself and how you got started with childcare.
My name is Cheryl Ann Rivers, and I'm originally from London, England. We've moved here 10 and a half years ago. I've moved with my husband, John Hardware, and we've got 3 sons. We moved here to actually open up a daycare. I've been running a daycare for over 26 and a half years now. So it's something that I've been doing for most of my life. As a child, I've been taking care of my cousins, friends, children and stuff. So it's just something that has been naturally grown on me. I do believe it's my calling to work with children. So yes, I've been doing this all my life.
How has your business changed since the onset of COVID-19? What are some of the changes you've had to implement in terms of processes and procedures?
So well, the way that's changed, it has changed drastically. So normally when a parent brings their child into the daycare, they will actually come into the daycare. We have a system where they will clock their children in, and at the end of the day, when they pick them up, they will have to clock them out. Now, Texas Human and Health Services no longer what happened. So we now have to receive the children outside of the building, as opposed to them coming in. So I'll have to go out. If it's myself or a teacher, we will go out. We have to have a mask on, we'll have our gloves on, we have a thermometer that takes their temperature and sanitizer. So we will go out, we will screen the parents, ask them how they are they feeling any symptoms of cough, fever, sore throat, runny nose, that sort of thing. I'll take their temperature. If the parent has a temperature, I'm not allowed to take that child in because it means they've been in contact with that parent. However, if the parent is fine, I will then screen the child. I will talk to the child, how are you doing? Are you fine? Where were you yesterday? Just trying to hear what's going on. I'll take that child temperature. Once the child temperature is fine and everything is good, we take that child in. We'll take them into the building and then they go into their class. Their teachers will be there to receive them. So that's a big change for me because we're used to having them come in and the parents clock them in, clock them out. We take them in and they go into the class. So that's a big change for us there. The other change is that now we have to sanitize our building more. We're doing it more frequently. We have to make sure that every classroom is sanitized, disinfect. So we'll come early in the morning, about 45 minutes before the daycare starts. We'll be there sanitizing the doors, the toys, the tables, the chairs, the floor, the toilets, the kitchen, everything. We have to do that. And we do that frequently during the day as we go along. We serve food. And whereas we would have normal plates, we'll have normal forks and cups, we're no longer allowed to have that. We have to have disposable plates, cups. Reason being, if a child, you put your cup down and we leave it there, another child might take it, put it to their mouth. So to avoid that, we have to have disposable stuff. So that's the next new thing that we have to come to terms with, which we've done really well. That's been really good. Also, cut back in staff. We had to cut back in staff because we've lost 75% of our children due to the fact that some parents no longer working, or if they are working, it's part-time. They may have a week on, a week off. So 75% of our children we have lost. So that's a big impact on us as well financially. So those are the changes that we've had to deal with.
That is unfortunate to have lost so many. You said 75% of the children that were attending no longer can attend at this time.
Yes, and that's because they only want essential workers parents. So the parents who normally come, you have the everyday parents, some of them may be in college, we cannot have them. We can only cater for essential parents.
For there to be that significant of a decline in the number of children who attend, I know that has to be disappointing and difficult. Is there a particular number of people that you keep during a particular shift? Are you required to have a certain number or a certain limit?
Well, basically what I did, Bree, I decided to keep all my staff. I decided to keep them, as I said, we have 3 did not come back. But we had the others we kept because I felt they have to have an income. They have bills to pay. They've got children to take care of, food, that sort of thing. So I scheduled where they would have a week on and a week off. So everybody gets a turn to work, and it just enabled them to have an income, a paycheck at the end of the day. So yeah, we've got our staff, because obviously when all of this is gone, I still want to have my staff because they are good staff. I'm very happy with my staff, and I didn't want to lose them. So we sat down, we had a meeting about it, and they were all very happy with that decision, as opposed to, not taking them back on.
Are you at liberty to say why some of your staff, you said 3 individuals did not come back during this time frame? Did I hear that right?
Yes, ma'am, you did. You sure did, yes.
Was it out of concern for the pandemic and the virus and everything?
So, yeah, they're pretty young girls. They were kind of getting anxiety fair. And we didn't want that, because the environment that we're in was very much the fear factor we didn't want in there, because the operation of the daycare was just running smooth, and to have someone panicking if a child coughed, oh my God, that sort of thing. So we sat down and we spoke about it, and we came to an agreement that that's fine. So they're just actually away for this period of the coronavirus. Once this is all done with, they will return back to work.
I understand how sad and uncertain of a time that this is for so many of us right now. I personally have lost loved ones during this virus, this pandemic. And is there anything in particular for your staff and even yourself that you do to try to keep the morale high and reduce the anxiety that some of your staff members have already proven to not be able to handle during this time? What do you do to keep the morale high, try to reduce anxiety?
Well, firstly, we made sure that we are still running as normal. There hasn't been any changes. Our schedule is still the same. So for the staff, they know they have to come in and get on with their classwork, their lesson plans, and everything has to be prepared. And as I said, just the fact that we are in compliance with what HHS has asked us to do, where we are making sure that we're sanitizing, disinfecting, screening the parents, the children. They seeing that give them, well, yes, we are doing the things that is required of us to do. And that's pretty much what we're doing to keep that going.
Have you observed any new behaviors from the children? Have parents been expressing different emotions during this time? How do the parents and the children, seem to be coping emotionally with the pandemic?
Well, fortunately, there hasn't been any noticed changes of behavior with the children. Again, because we have kept the structure the same, there hasn't been any changes. The only changes are obviously when they come in, their parents park the car and we go out and meet them. And to be quite honest, they think it's fun. They come out and they're running to get the sanitize and the screening, the temperature taken. And then once they come into the classroom, into the building, then taken to the classroom, it's pretty much the same. So we made sure to keep that. At least there is stability at the daycare. What they're used to, that is still keep on going. So there hasn't been any changes with the children behavior. Yes, I have had concerns from the parents where they are concerned because, one, they don't want to get the virus. They want to make sure that their child or children don't have it. They're concerned about their income, because some of them, their hours have changed. They're working shorter hours, and they're concerned maybe they may hear today they're going to work, they may be told, hey, we're closing down, today's your last day. So obviously they're concerned about that because they have bills. They want to have food on the table to feed their children. So there is that concern. I do listen, and I'm very positive, say, hey, well, just keep on going. Let's see what happens. There is a way, something will work out. We just have to make sure that we protect ourselves first. Our life is more important right now.
And we really have to pause and consider how the virus might remain on different surfaces and transfer to others. As you're documenting the type of essential workers who have children at your daycare, what have you found to be the most effective way to keep record of everything? Is there a particular form? How is the form filled out? Is it electronic submission or by paper? How do you prevent the spread of the virus via surfaces?
All right. So once this all started, we've been getting information from the Department of Family Protective Service. So they will be sending us information. They're sending us guidelines of what we have to do. And one of the things that we had to do, they've actually put in place where we've had forms. So I've had my own admission forms, which I would take, but now they have created their own admission form that I had to give to the parents. So in that form, it's making sure that the parents are essential parents. So in that form, it will have what their profession is. So they have to put that down. They'll have to put their telephone number down and all that sort of stuff. And also they actually did the letter up. I would normally do my letters. They did the letter up. So it's coming from the government stating, well, this is what we've put in place. We are only having essential parents. And then they give the list of what is considered to be essential parents. And they filled it out. I mean, the parents did fill it out. They were pretty much understanding because it's something that they want to make sure it's in place and it's protecting their children, it's protecting themselves and their staff, the care of their children. So that's what have been in place, where they would fill those forms out. I have to keep it on the premises just in case if an inspector comes, it's there. They will then take the form and make a call to the parents' workplace to verify that they are working there and their position.
Such useful information, not only for those in the daycare industry who might be contemplating reopening, what does that process look like? So thank you for sharing that information. It makes sense that essential workers don't have the option to work from home. A surgeon can't just say, hey, I'm taking my kid to work today. That's not an option. Yet, still, I can only imagine what it's like to care for children who have parents who are on the front line in the battle against Corona. What is the deciding factor or factors that make you feel comfortable with operating your business during this time, given the circumstances? Do you have any personal concerns regarding your own health?
Well, firstly, I'd like to say that we do need the essential workers. Without these essential workers, we will not be able to help the coronavirus, the patients to be cared for and to get better. So we do need the essential worker. So I'm really happy that I'm able to be operating and to care for their children, and for the parents to know that they're leaving their child in an environment that they know is safe, and that we're taking all the precaution for their child to be safe and not get the coronavirus. I feel that we have done everything that we have been required to do. Again, as I said, sanitizing, taking their temperature, asking questions, feedback, that sort of thing. So I feel very comfortable that we've done enough to know that we are safe to have those children there, and knowing that there's nothing going to happen to them. Yes, there are concerns in the back of my head. There are at times, but I feel because of all that we've done, we're good. And because I'm a Christian, my faith and my trust in God, I am confident in what I am doing, and I'm happy to do what I'm doing.
So courageous, truly needed at a time like this. I honestly commend you for your bravery. And has there been an opportunity for you to make a decision to turn down care of a child due to sickness? Have you witnessed someone who might have been having symptoms, or you heard that a parent was having symptoms? Have you had to deny a child care due to sickness?
Well, I'll give you two cases that happened. So yes, I have had, with the protocol that we do when we receive the children outside, I did take a child's temperature and it was higher than 100.4. So I did say to that mom that we cannot have the child in. We cannot have that child in because of the screening, and she is past that 100.4 temperature. So, and mom was very happy. She said, I understand. Actually, she respected what I did, because it wasn't just the mere fact that, oh my God, let me just take this child because from a finance point of view, I'm going to take that child to have the money. It showed that I was having concern and interest in the child's health. So yeah, she was quite happy to take the child home. Normally when they take them home, they're not allowed to come back for 14 days because we have to follow that 14 days quarantine. I did have a staff, she came in, and then when she did come into work, her throat was feeling a bit sore. So once we heard that, I'm like, okay, you have to go home. 14 days quarantine. On her way home, she told her doctor, did tell her doctor the symptoms. They didn't think it was the coronavirus, but however, she was advised to have the 14 days quarantine. Again, I felt good because I had already told her to have her 14 days. So it shows that I was following the guidelines of what is required of us.
That has to hit close to home to know that you were potentially exposed during those two situations. And then, of course, every day, knowing that you're caring for children of essential workers, I can understand what you meant by it being something in the back of your mind. I commend you. I applaud you for your bravery. You are a hero right now. For people who are essential workers and need to go out and help other people in need, it's amazing that you are standing in the gap, helping to fulfill this need. It's something that people like myself, I don't have children yet, so it's not something that I would normally think about until, having all this time during the pandemic to think and process like, oh, wow. What about the daycares? What about the children of essential workers or non-essential workers? So I appreciate you coming on the show today, sharing this information. Are there any additional tips that you would give for parents, essential workers, non-essential workers who might be trying to figure out options available during this time as they're possibly looking for work if they've been laid off? Is there any additional information or last tips that you would want to share?
Well, really, I would say to really follow the guidelines that is given. It is so important. It can save life. It can save you from getting the virus. So I think to really follow that. And then if there's a daycare that is not operating, because there are some daycare that decided that, hey, we're not going to operate, respect that. It doesn't mean that they've had the virus, but they're just taking precaution. Some people feel it differently, so, and to support us. We have been working out. I felt when I heard the news, they would talk about the doctors, the nurse, and all those. And I thought, well, hey, we are providing care for the essential workers. What about the daycare? Because without us, the parents can't go to work. So yeah, my tip is just be positive. We will get over this. We will get over this. Yes.
Indeed. Thank you so much. Please continue to be safe. Continue the great work that you're doing. Indeed, we will definitely get through this time, and having influential individuals such as yourself who are willing to stand in the gap and help us get through this process, help essential workers who need to continue going to work. We are all thankful because I might be in need of an essential worker who does have a child, and it's because of people like you that those essential workers can continue to do the great work that they're doing while you continue to do the great work that you're doing. So thank you again. I appreciate you so much for coming on the show today. You continue to be safe and have a great rest of your week.